Good evening and welcome. Tonight we're weaving stories that dance with the night, from the whispered ferns of a secluded glade to the gentle echoes of a meadow under a starlit lavender sky. If our tales bring you a sense of calm and comfort, you might consider subscribing or liking the video, but only if you genuinely enjoy what we share here. We also love seeing who's joining us tonight. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It always adds a touch of warmth to our sleepy little community. Now, as you settle in, perhaps dim the lights or pull the covers up just a bit higher. Allow yourself to sink into the moment. Let's begin with Nightfall Gathers at the Fern Glade, where the evening air gently cradles the world to rest. As the last golden hues of the sun slipped beyond the line where the sky kissed the earth, the Fern Glade nestled just past the ancient oak grove began to unfurl into the velvet embrace of evening. Here, in a dip of the woodland, a secret haven lay carpeted in endless shades of green as ferns of all kinds, from small fronds to towering pteridophytes, swayed ever so gently in a balmy summer breeze. Glassy pools of rainwater from a previous shower mirrored the shifting sky, tiny jewels amidst the greenery, whispering with the secrets of the forest. The twilight air was alive with murmurs of the day transitioning into night. A gentle creek meandered through the glade, its water a silken ribbon weaving between moss-covered stones. The creek's musical lilt sang a soft lullaby to accompany the occasional rustle of small creatures hidden in the forest's embrace. Beyond the creek, an old stone path lined with fallen leaves led deeper into the heart of the fern glade, where the foliage grew densest and the world began to feel like the inside of a verdant cathedral. Here, light lingered with a softness that bathed every leaf and drop of water in a gentle glow. Shadows danced playfully over the ferns as the sky changed, shifting from gold to subtle shades of coral and lavender, finally settling into a deepening indigo. Fireflies began to twinkle above the fern tops like low-hanging stars, their glow a tender reminder of distant galaxies gently pulsing into view as the sky darkened. The scent of damp earth and the sweet fern-laden breeze mingled with the delicate floral notes of wildflowers, which peeked shyly between the ferns. Every now and then, a fragrant puff of mist rose from the creek as it met the cooler evening air, the scent like a soft veil that enveloped the senses with deep calm. At the heart of the glade, an ancient stone bench stood covered in tendrils of ivy. Legend said it was once the favorite resting place of a wise old wanderer. a recluse who found peace amid the whispering ferns. It was here that the world seemed to pause, the air thick with anticipation yet utterly serene. As night fell deeper, the glade became a symphony of natural sounds. Gentle croaks of frogs, hidden along the water's edge, joined the rhythmic hum of crickets in their evening chorus. The breeze rustled the fern fronds, a soft, sigh-like rustle, as if the forest itself exhaled contentment. Occasionally, the soft hoot of an owl would echo from afar, a solitary call in the immersive embrace of night. The moon rose above the trees, casting a silvery light that shimmered on the water and fanned shadows across the glade, turning the world into a tapestry of silver and green. Here, beneath the moon's gaze, time seemed irrelevant. The night was a sanctuary, an endless expanse where thoughts drifted gently like leaves caught in a languid stream, unhurried and serene. A quaint footbridge arched gracefully over the creek, its wooden planks bearing the marks of rain and seasons past. Lichen clung to its edges, adding texture and life to the structure. As you stepped onto the bridge, the sound of water played softly beneath, a murmuring companion to the night's quietude. The gentle plop of a frog diving into the water below brought a smile, a simple, joyful reminder of the life bustling beneath the surface. On the far side of the bridge, a narrow path wove through the densest part of the glade, where ferns grew so high that they brushed shoulders with passing breezes. The path wound around towering oaks and through shafts of moonlight that flickered like gentle beacons, guiding the way further into this natural sanctuary. Finally, the path opened into a small clearing, ringed with ferns that curled upwards as if to cradle the space in protective embrace. In the center of the clearing stood a magnificent willow tree, its sweeping branches heavy with the lushness of summer. Each leaf seemed to shimmer slightly, dappled with moonlight, creating an atmosphere akin to an enchanted woodland, timeless and timelessly alive. Beneath the willow, a small pond mirrored the night sky's billion stars, a liquid canvas where constellations danced and fireflies skimmed across the surface. The air here was particularly tender, filled with the hum of night and the subtle scent of blooming night jasmine, vine-like in nature, intertwined with the willow's lower boughs. As you rested on the soft, mossy ground, the earth cradled every limb in silent support. Gazing up, tendrils of the willow swayed in slow motion, tracing soft arcs against the star-studded sky. The serene surroundings coaxed the mind into a gentle dreamscape, where the border between reality and imagination blurred in the comforting shadow play of evening. Nearby, An old turtle emerged from the water, its ancient form moving with deliberate grace across the damp earth. It paused, as if to survey its kingdom, then slowly disappeared beneath the protective fronds to nestle into its favored resting spot for the night. In these moments, the world felt full and yet entirely emptied of chaos, with only the rhythm of night to guide the soul through the tranquil remaining hours until dawn. The feeling was one of unity with the earth itself, as if the glade was whispering its secrets to all who cared to listen, to all who sought peace amidst its quiet splendor. As the deep serenity of the night continued, the mind found itself lulled by the gentle symphony of natural sounds. The water's endless song, the cricket's calming murmur, and the faint rustling of leaves that seemed to echo the rhythm of a heart slowly finding its way to rest. In the safe embrace of the fern glade, surrounded by nature's gentle touch, and under the watchful eye of the moon, the world turned away from the day, and sleep came as naturally as the ferns unfurling in the sun's first light, softly and without hesitation. A cool wind began to stir through the clearing, gently swaying the willow's branches like the soft caresses of a lullaby. It whispered through the ferns, weaving sound waves of peace that wrapped around the glade. It carried with it the distant aroma of pine and cedar, mingling with the ever-present scent of earthiness and creating a symphony of nature's perfumes that spoke of tranquility and timelessness. From somewhere deep in the forest, the voice of a lonesome whippoorwill joined the gentle chorus, its melancholy call weaving through the whispers of the trees like an old melody remembered. Listening, it felt as if the very air sighed contentedly, alive with stories shared only under the canopy of this leafy sanctuary. Above, the stars glittered with distant luminescence, constellations storytelling across the midnight canvas, as the celestial patterns promised ancient tales. As the hush of evening deepened, small flickers of bioluminescent glowworms emerged from beneath the ferns, painting the ground with tiny, sparkling constellations that rivaled the skies. Their light pulsed softly, a gentle tap, tap, tap that kept time with the steady beating of the heart, reminding all creatures of the continuity of life's dance, a rhythm that lured both wanderer and woodland creature into a shared, serene dream. Among the ferns, shadows moved stealthily, whisper-like and cautious. A family of deer appeared, their graceful forms almost ethereal in the moonlight. The doe and her fawns paused momentarily, their ears pricking forward to listen to the nocturnal concert, before they lowered their heads to graze on the tender shoots hidden beneath the layers of fern carpet. Their presence seemed to honor the peace of the glade, an acknowledgement of the sanctuary it provided to all. Time unfurled with a languid grace, untroubled by the urgency of day. Every breath was an invitation to sink deeper into the embrace of the night. The soft murmuring of the nearby creek and the gentle rustling of leaves provided a soothing soundtrack to thoughts beginning to drift like dandelion seeds on a breeze. Thoughts that had given themselves up to the night's tranquil reprieve. Languorously, the night unfolded its silken layers, coaxing even the most restless of souls into a state of sublime stillness. Here, amidst the night-kissed ferns, the very air seemed to thrum with the anticipation of dreams yet to be dreamt. The soul drank in this quietude like a parched land receiving rain, each moment amplifying into eternity, where imagination and reality danced hand in hand. The forest, a cathedral of natural wonder, stood as silent testimony to the beauty found in stillness and patience. The willow tree, guardian of the clearing, swayed and sighed softly, a near imperceptible dance in harmony with the earth's own breathing. All around, existence continued in gentle cycles, weaving its own stories beneath the moon's watchful eye. Time stretched and folded back onto itself, a seamless continuum where night flowed into dawn. Through the restless forays of drowsy thoughts, a promise of renewed day lingered just beyond the horizon's edge. And so, beneath the vast canopy of the night sky, held within the embracing arms of the earth, sleep stole softly upon eyelids, drawing the explorer gently into realms of rest where peace wrapped snugly, like the cherished blanket of a childhood dream. In this sacred glade, where the air was woven with dreams, and the silence was filled with the whispers of the ancients, the world softly faded away, leaving only the quiet heartbeats of those who dared to dream under the protective gaze of the moon and stars. As the deep serenity of the night continued, the mind found itself lulled by the gentle symphony of natural sounds. The water's endless song, the cricket's calming murmur, and the faint rustling of leaves that seemed to echo the rhythm of a heart slowly finding its way to rest. In the safe embrace of the Fern Glade, surrounded by nature's gentle touch and under the watchful eye of the moon, the world turned away from the day, and sleep came as naturally as the ferns unfurling in the sun's first light, softly and without hesitation. A cool wind began to stir through the clearing, gently swaying the willow's branches like the soft caresses of a lullaby. It whispered through the ferns, weaving sound waves of peace that wrapped around the glade. It carried with it the distant aroma of pine and cedar, mingling with the ever-present scent of earthiness and creating a symphony of nature's perfumes that spoke of tranquility and timelessness. From somewhere deep in the forest, the voice of a lonesome whippoorwill joined the gentle chorus, its melancholy call weaving through the whispers of the trees like an old melody remembered. Listening, it felt as if the very air sighed contentedly, alive with stories shared only under the canopy of this leafy sanctuary. Above, the stars glittered with distant luminescence, constellations storytelling across the midnight canvas as the celestial patterns promised ancient tales. As the hush of evening deepened, small flickers of bioluminescent glowworms emerged from beneath the ferns, painting the ground with tiny, sparkling constellations that rivaled the skies. Their light pulsed softly, a gentle tap, tap, tap that kept time with the steady beating of the heart, reminding all creatures of the continuity of life's dance, a rhythm that lured both wanderer and woodland creature into a shared, serene dream. Among the ferns, shadows moved stealthily, whisper-like and cautious. A family of deer appeared, their graceful forms almost ethereal in the moonlight. The doe and her fawns paused momentarily, their ears pricking forward to listen to the nocturnal concert before they lowered their heads to graze on the tender shoots hidden beneath the layers of fern carpet. Their presence seemed to honor the peace of the glade, an acknowledgement of the sanctuary it provided to all. Time unfurled with a languid grace, untroubled by the urgency of day. Every breath was an invitation to sink deeper into the embrace of the night. The soft murmuring of the nearby creek and the gentle rustling of leaves provided a soothing soundtrack to thoughts beginning to drift like dandelion seeds on a breeze. Thoughts that had given themselves up to the night's tranquil reprieve. Languorously, the night unfolded its silken layers, coaxing even the most restless of souls into a state of sublime stillness. Here, amidst the night-kissed ferns, the very air seemed to thrum with the anticipation of dreams yet to be dreamt. The soul drank in this quietude like a parched land receiving rain, each moment amplifying into eternity, where imagination and reality danced hand in hand. The forest, a cathedral of natural wonder, stood as silent testimony to the beauty found in stillness and patience. The willow tree, guardian of the clearing, swayed and sighed softly, a near imperceptible dance in harmony with the earth's own breathing. All around, existence continued in gentle cycles, weaving its own stories beneath the moon's watchful eye. Time stretched and folded back onto itself, a seamless continuum where night flowed into dawn. Through the restless forays of drowsy thoughts, a promise of renewed day lingered just beyond the horizon's edge. And so, beneath the vast canopy of the night sky, held within the embracing arms of the earth, sleep stole softly upon eyelids, drawing the explorer gently into realms of rest, where peace wrapped snugly like the cherished blanket of a childhood dream. In this sacred glade, where the air was woven with dreams, and the silence was filled with the whispers of the ancients, the world softly faded away, leaving only the quiet heartbeats of those who dared to dream under the protective gaze of the moon and stars. Feel the weight of the day melting away as our next story begins. In the gentle embrace of the midsummer's evening, a hidden meadow lay quiet under the watchful eye of the departing sun. The meadow, a vast expanse of wildflowers and whispering grasses, stretched out toward the horizon, cocooned by the distant silhouettes of tall, stately oaks that stood as guardians around its edge. It was a place whispered about in tales, where time seemed to slow to a gentle trickle, and the cares of the world became as distant as the fading echoes of a forgotten song. As the sun dipped lower, its light turned into a soft golden hue, painting the world with a tender glow that seemed almost dreamlike. The meadow's resident chorus began its evening refrain. Crickets, hidden among the grass like tiny harpists, sung their soothing symphony, blending harmoniously with the delicate rustle of the breeze. A gentle wind whispered through the blooms, stirring the air with the faintest hint of sweet clover and the earthy scent of the warming earth. Near the center of this tapestry of nature was a small, shimmering pond, its surface as smooth as a mirror, reflecting the transitioning sky. Dragonflies, with their iridescent wings, darted confidently above, skimming the water's surface and creating the smallest ripples. Around the pond, clusters of water lilies flowered, their broad leaves unfurling like nature's green parasols. It was to this tranquil haven that you found yourself drawn, a simple wooden path leading you into the heart of the meadow. The boards creaked gently underfoot, the sound melding with the song of the evening. You took each step with purpose, savoring the sensation of the world slowing beneath the tapestry of the twilight sky. As you moved, the gentle breeze played with your hair, carrying with it the mingling fragrances of wild mint and lavender. In the distance, a brook trickled lazily, its soft gurgles a fluid accompaniment to the deepening lull of nature's evening hymn. Wildflowers of every hue decorated the meadow. Golden sunflowers stood tall, their faces turned in reverence to the fading sun, while clusters of poppies fluttered like scarlet and coral silk in the cooling air. Among them, the pale blue of cornflowers and the gentle pinks of peonies created a painter's dream, each petal catching the soft light in a serene ballet. You paused at the edge of the pond, where the path ended in a small, thoughtfully placed wooden bench. A gentle sigh might escape your lips as you lower yourself onto the cool, smooth timber. It fit the setting so perfectly, crafted with care to blend into the natural curves and hues of the land. Rolling up from the depths of this serene sea of grass, the evening air was alive with the subtle vibrancy of life. Fireflies began to dance in the gathering dusk, their tiny lanterns blinking softly like stars fallen away from the sky. The soft murmur of their wings whispered of magic and old, forgotten tales. You leaned back against the bench, letting its firm yet forgiving support cradle you as you watched this spectacle unfold. Golden hues bled into the soft purples and velvety blues of approaching night. The sky, a vast canvas, was painted with streaks of liquid amber and gently blushing pinks. Above, a lone lark soared, spiraling upward on invisible thermals, its song a joyous cascade that seemed to linger long after the bird itself was just a silhouette against the darkening sky. Its final notes hung in the air, echoing slightly across the meadow, as if giving thanks for the day now turning to gently embrace the calmness of night. Nearby, a rabbit, mottled brown and cream, quietly emerged from its burrow to nibble on the rich greens of the meadow's carpet. Its ears twitched with the slightest sounds, yet it appeared unafraid, glancing up occasionally to meet your eye with a curious, trusting gaze. The sun had now slipped fully behind the veil of the horizon, leaving the world in soft shadow and muted tones. The sky morphed into a deep indigo, welcoming the first stars that twinkled in the tranquil celestial sea. These silent watchmen set the stage for the moon's gentle glow, a glowing pearl showering the meadow with silvery light. In this sanctuary of nature, every sound felt like part of a larger, harmonious whole, a lullaby pieced together by the whispers of the wind, the rustle of the reeds, and the occasional plop of a lazy frog from the pond's deep. As the evening matured, wrapping its cool arms around the land, you took a moment to close your eyes. The world around you softened further, becoming a symphony of warmth and whispering life. In this serene space, peace was not an elusive presence, but an ever-present companion. A gentle, warm breeze drifted over the meadow, mirroring the ebb and flow of your breathing, both slow and rhythmic. Inhale. The air tasted of honeysuckle and elderflower. Exhale. It was a breath of contentment released into the tranquil night. With each passing moment, the symphony of nature deepened, finding a companion in the silence that enveloped you, drawing you into that dreamy realm where thoughts rearrange themselves like drifting clouds in the skies above. You let the serenity of the meadow seep into your soul, weaving its way into your heart like a mother's tender embrace. Here, beneath the generous sky of night, the world's hurried pace felt like a distant memory. Gone were the demands of day, and in its place was the gentle whisper of eternity's promise. The scent of chamomile wafted subtly from the nearby flower beds, mingling with the night's cool embrace. You could almost feel the petals' soft, soothing touch against your skin. As time drifted on apathetic currents, the fireflies continued their twinkling dance across the meadow, creating an enchanting ballet that seemed to replay stories of yore and mirth from a time long past. They lit up the landscape like tiny stars stitched into the fabric of the night, as if the sky itself reached down to grace the earth with its specks of light. From somewhere beyond the horizon's edge, just out of sight, you could imagine the sea, though unseen, sending its soft lullaby across distant dunes, a gentle reminder of the world beyond these soft grasses and rippling leaves. Each sound, each scent, each flicker of light wove itself into the tapestry that was this moment, this place. You breathed deeply, letting the mellow winds and the lulling tunes of the meadow whisper their sweet nothings, lulling you slowly towards the dewy realm of dreams. It was here, under the watchful eye of the radiant moon, that time itself seemed to pause, caught in the delicate balance between the realms of day and night. A moment that stretched with gentle intensity, inviting contentment and inviting serenity into every fiber of your being. Tucked away in this secluded haven, nature's embrace was as tender as the petals brushing against your fingertips, and the soulful sigh of the evening sky cradled you close, promising warmth and beauty everlasting. And so, beneath a sky punctuated by 1,000 watching stars, you remained cocooned in the meadow's gentle embrace, where adventure whispered softly on the night breeze and dreams woven by moonlight awaited. In the quiet spaces between the heartbeats of the night. In this tranquil meadow, the world seemed to breathe with you. Tiny frogs joined the chorus, their distant croaks melding harmoniously into the night's song. It was a melody with no beginning and no end, an endless loop of comfort that lulled every sense into a gentle rest. As your eyes fluttered open, the glowing orb of the moon appeared larger than life, its soft light casting gentle shadows across the meadow. The stars above twinkled with ancient wisdom, each blink a story told over millennia. The majesty of the night sky filled you with a reverence for the universe's vast and calm continuity. Turning your gaze back to the pond, you noticed how the water, still as glass, mirrored the heavens above. The lily pads seemed to float in space, their edges tracing silver patterns against the obsidian water. Around them, the dragonflies had quieted, their earlier dance replaced by the gentle ripple of a late-night breeze. Inhale, the cool night air was rich with promise, a reminder of nature's concealed mysteries waiting to unfold. Exhale, a contented release, a gentle declaration of acceptance of everything that had been and everything yet to come. As night fully gathered, a soft sound drifted through the meadow, a distant owl calling softly, its voice echoing across the open expanse. It was a song just for you, a private serenade beneath the expansive sky that invited you to unravel the tales wrapped in night's embrace. Settled into the comforting bench, you felt every muscle relax. The wooden seat seemed to cradle you, its touch gentle and steady. Time blurred, its passage marked only by the gradual shift in the night's hues, turning from deep blue to shades of charcoal and silver as clouds drifted lazily by. The moon, a constant guardian above, watched over you and the sleeping meadow. In this place of delicate perfection, every breath was a blessing, every heartbeat a celebration of the quiet beauty surrounding you. In the quiet moments when the music of the meadow quieted to a hum, you felt the gentle rustle of the world around, a quiet lizard slipping under leaf cover, a nighttime flower unfurling its petals to the stars above. As you sat, embraced by the night, you let your thoughts drift like leaves on a serene stream, allowing them to be carried away by the gentle current of dreams. The meadow shifted around you, subtly changing with the night, a land of beauty sculpted by stars and lit by the gentle glow of the moon. Your heart, grounded yet uplifted, partnered with the earth that cradled you, finding peace in this slice of the universe carved from the stuff of dreams. Here, all was simple and perfect, and you, a small but significant part of this boundless wonder, were perfectly at home. Time felt like an ancient river, smoothly flowing beyond this place, and here you sat upon the shores, letting the gentle waves of the evening whisper stories of comfort. The soothing cadence of the night provided a lullaby spun from whispers, scents, and affection. In this celestial theater, all was well. Leaves trembled gently, as if sharing secrets in soft rustles, and the meadow continued its gentle vigil. Reassured by this calm constant, you let yourself drift ever so softly into a gentle slumber, nestled in nature's hushed embrace. The meadow was your sanctuary, your picturesque harbor in this vast and infinite night. Surrendering to the night's quietude, you allowed yourself to drift into dreams, knowing that the wild flowers would sway softly until your return. The fireflies would continue their delightful dance, and the moon would faithfully guide you home again. Come the light of dawn. Rest easy. Our next story is just beginning. In the languid embrace of summer, where daylight lingers lazily before yielding to night, there exists a hidden glade nestled between gentle, rolling hills. Here, the earth curves softly, embraced by a thick, vibrant carpet of ferns. Their fronds tipped in silver from the day's sunlight and the evening's impending coolness. This ferny hollow is both untouched and untamed, a natural lullaby whispered lovingly by the swaying leaves and the tender rustle of the breeze. As the sun hangs low, dipping toward the horizon, the glade begins its nightly transformation. The golden glow of the day mellows into a serene amber hue, casting long, gentle shadows that stretch and blend upon the fern floor. The leaves shimmer under this light, each a tiny mirror reflecting the sky's ambitions for tranquility. A soft fragrance begins to weave its way through the air, the cool green scent of earth mingling with the sweetness of distant blooms. The last songs of daytime birds thread through the air like a fading tapestry. Overhead, a solitary hawk wings homeward, its silhouette a fleeting etching against the blaze of pastel skies. In the deepening quiet, the chorus of crickets hesitantly begins, a symphony of night that rises with the moon. Nearby, a gentle brook traces the edge of the ferns, its waters gliding over stones as old as the hills themselves. The brook sings a continuous, soothing melody, each note a drop of water tumbling into the depths, mingled with the occasional plop of a leaf dipping into the stream. You can hear the playful lilt of water as it leaps over pebbles, the sound like whispered secrets shared between friends. At the heart of this wonderland stands an old, gnarled oak tree, its limbs reaching outward like welcoming arms. The tree's bark is coarse, and in its grooves, time has left its handwritten stories. Beneath its sprawling canopy, the weight of uncounted years wends into the earth, wrapping the world in an ancient embrace that pledges to hold all who sit beneath its boughs. As you rest against its sturdy trunk, the ground beneath is surprisingly soft and inviting. Moss grows thick, like plush velvet under your fingertips, its cool texture a comforting balm to hands warm from the day. Leaning back, you feel the oak's bark pressing against your shoulders, grounding you firmly in this moment. The dimming light plays through the leaves like dappled rain, creating patterns of light and shadow, a silent dance that waltzes through the glade. Fireflies begin their nightly performance, drifting through the air in a slow, deliberate ballet of luminescence. Their gentle glow stipples the dusk with whispers of warm light, akin to flickering stars brought down to walk the earth. As twilight deepens, a gentle breeze stirs, carrying with it the sound of night-blooming jasmine. Its scent is thickly floral, sweet and heady, unfurling through the air and wrapping around you in an aromatic embrace that is both soothing and grounding. The night is filled with this perfume, blended with the dew-sweetened ferns and the rich earth settling into its nocturnal rhythm. In this quiet, time stretches, and each moment lingers just a fraction longer, savoring the stillness. The moon, silvered and serene, rises above the hills. Its light softens sharp edges, smoothing the contours of the landscape into gentle, rolling waves of silver and shadow. The sky is a canopy of deep blue velvet, studded with stars that flicker faintly, each one a tiny lighthouse in the tranquil sea above. Your eyes drift to the constellations, slowly appearing one by one. Ancient storytellers whispering tales of old to those who are patient enough to listen. Each star is a friend, familiar and constant, and their steadfast presence brings a profound peace that settles deeply into your soul, like the contentment of a warm blanket on a cool night. Close your eyes and let the sounds of the night wrap around you like a favorite tune. The leaves rustle softly, the brook sings gently, and far off, the hoot of an owl punctuates the stillness. In this place, under the embrace of the towering oak, the world seems to sigh contentedly, an exhalation of peace and quiet joy. Time here is unhurried. Minutes unfold languidly, each second dribbling away like honey, rich and luxurious. You feel the day's weight melt away, replaced by a serene lightness that lifts your spirit and smooths out the knots and twists of thought that might have burdened you. The night seems endless, boundless in its quiet majesty, ready to cradle you gently until the dawn. In this place of ferns and whispered nights, every element of nature is harmonized, a blended symphony crafted for tranquility. The earth rises to hold you, The canopy shelters you under its leafy aegis, and time itself seems to slow down in reverent acknowledgement of the peace that presides here. Feel the world breathe around you, the rhythmic inhale and exhale of the forest and glade. Its life, a natural lullaby. Inhale the rich, grassy notes of the evening. Feel it fill your lungs, light and clean. Exhale and let go of anything that clings too tightly, anything that refuses to settle with the dropping of the sun. The night continues to deepen, its passages unbroken, unmarred by urgent thoughts or the outside noise of the world. Here, in this verdant glade, is a sanctuary where dreams are woven, gentle and kind. Let yourself drift on the summertime warmth. Melt back into the ground that holds you secure as the symphony of shadow and light moves seamlessly toward the dawn. You are a part of this world now, your heartbeat a counterpoint to the natural rhythms. The silvered ferns whisper secrets only they know, tales of night and day, sun and moon. You listen without words, the stories unfolding around you, weaving through the glade, becoming part of its eternal lore. Let this space hold you. Let it cradle you gently, as if carried on a current of the softest water, swaying steadily toward rest. Where the silver ferns grow and whisper, your peace is complete, unfurling like the fronds that reach for the soft, pale light of the moon, always reaching, always listening. And as sleep overtakes you, you sink beneath its waves, carried gently by the hush of this quiet haven. In the meadow of the night, your breath falls into the rhythm of a world content to let you dream endlessly under its watchful stars. As sleep envelops you, a symphony of subtle sounds paints itself upon your consciousness. The gentle murmur of the brook becomes a lullaby, its waters whispering tales of far-off places they have seen, the secrets only water carries. Each ripple and splash offers comfort, a promise that the world is vast yet safe. Above, a canopy of ancient branches sways gently in the night breeze, a soft, shushing sound that makes you feel as though the universe itself is hushing the world to rest. The oak, guardian of the glade, creaks ever so slightly, its timeless voice a reassuring, grounding presence. You can almost imagine the tree speaking, its whispers soft enough to pass unnoticed in daylight, but heard clearly now in this hushed nocturne. The sweet scent of jasmine mingles with a hint of honeysuckle, carried tenderly on the wind that feathers your cheek. These notes of perfume are gentle reminders of nature's abundance, a gift only the night can deliver. In this moment, everything feels perfectly balanced, held together by unseen threads of calm and grace. As your eyelids grow heavy, thoughts float lazily through your mind like fallen leaves on a tranquil pond, creating gentle ripples that fade into stillness. Here, dreams are born effortlessly from the fabric of the night, emerging gently into consciousness, like stars blinking awake in the cloak of twilight. In this restful place, time dances slowly like a leaf on a gentle breeze, moving with purpose yet in no hurry to reach its destination. The moon drapes its light generously over the glade, turning dew-kissed ferns into a sea of tiny jewels, each glistening in quiet testimony to the beauty of the world beneath its gentle gaze. Occasionally, the flap of a distant owl's wings slices through the serene quiet, a soft swoosh that speaks of freedom and the wild mysteries of the night. The owl's solitary calls weave through the air like an invitation to explore the realms of dreams, where anything is possible and everything is touched by magic. With each breath, a deeper sense of completeness enfolds you. The air is cool and refreshing, each inhalation filling you with tranquility, each exhalation releasing the remnants of day. Your heartbeat slows to match the cadence of the earth beneath you, a steady, reliable drumbeat in the night's symphony. Stars shimmer above, a cosmic canopy of glowing embers scattered across the inky heavens. They twinkle with stories untold, waiting patiently for dreamers like you to decipher their luminescent language. Under their steady watch, you are both insignificant and infinite, a part of something grand and eternal. You let go, every muscle softening, carried on this beautiful lull of nature's cradle. The murmured promises of the ferns, the silent vows of the stars, the firm assurance of the enduring oak. These all promise peace, a safe passage through the night into another day. Rest now, enveloped by the gentle music of the glade, heart in tune with the world's quiet song. Let dreams flow warmly, wrapped in the whisper and perfume of this hidden Eden. In this sacred space of ferns and starshine, your spirit is free to roam, to fly among dreams as tender as the starlit breeze. As the night deepens, accept its gentle invitation to pure, unbroken rest. The world will hold you safely, embracing you with the kindness of ancient trees and the timeless grace of a night that sways effortlessly towards dawn. Here, Dreams weave seamlessly through the dense tapestry of the night, a world suspended softly between dusk and dawn, where calm and beauty reign supreme. Close your eyes a little tighter and let the next story wash over you. In the heart of a vast countryside where gentle hills rolled softly into one another, lay an expansive field of lavender. It was midsummer, and the blooms were at their most vibrant, a sea of violet stretching into the distant horizon. The air held the sweet, mellow fragrance of these myriad blossoms, drifting lazily under a clear, starlit sky. As the last rays of the sun dipped below the line where earth met sky, their fading golden brilliance cast delicate shadows over the lavender, turning them into a tapestry woven with threads of purple and gold. The gentle susurration of a breeze whispered through the rows of flowers, lending a faint rustle that blended harmoniously with the distant chirp of crickets beginning their evening serenade. The old path, softly trodden and lined with scattered pebbles, meandered through this aromatic field. It wound its way from a quaint stone cottage nestled at the field's edge, its thatched roof an echo of times long past, set aglow by the hushed light of a cozy, flickering porch lantern. From there it stretched like a gentle finger, reaching towards the velvety hills yonder. The cottage was the heart of an aging lavender farm, lovingly cared for through generations. Its framed windows flickered with inviting warmth from the inside, revealing dark, polished wood surfaces adorned by patterns of dancing shadow and light. Inside, a fire crackled soft and low, infusing the air with a lazy, comforting heat that beckoned for evening relaxation. Beyond the windows, the sky had deepened into a vibrant indigo, punctuated by the first twinkling stars of the night. Each star seemed to perch above a bloom, as though nature had plucked these celestial jewels from the heavens and scattered them generously above the earth. The summer solstice had just passed, marking the height of the season's bounty. The plain wooden table inside the cottage, worn smooth from years of use, cradled a simple wooden bowl filled with freshly picked lavender sprigs. Their aromatic presence mingled with the scent of beeswax candles that stood sentinel across the room, lending an ethereal glow to the walls. As the evening deepened, the door to the cottage opened, and a gentle figure stepped out into the waiting arms of the night, resting on a cane made smooth by the touch of countless such evenings. The old caretaker of the farm paused to breathe deeply of the summer air. The cool breeze teased the edge of a crocheted shawl draped around their shoulders and whispered playfully through silver-streaked hair, as if sharing secrets only it could know. With a knowing smile, the caretaker began a leisurely walk along the pebbled path, each step a quiet echo in the night's embrace. As they wandered among the rows, the lavender rose like orchestrated wafts of memory. The flowers brushed gently against their palms, soft as silk. And in this tactile communion, history and hopes entwined. The evening sky, growing richer and deeper in hue, seemed a canopy strewn with endless possibilities. Shooting stars traced their way across the heavens, graceful arcs that an adventurous eye might follow in whimsical awe. Fireflies began to dance along the field's edge, their tiny lanterns oscillating through the night, dotting the landscape with gleaming whispers of light. At the crest of the path, where the fields dipped into a gentle hollow cradled by the hills, sat an old wooden bench. It was here, under this starlit lavender sky, that the caretaker often found a quiet corner for reflection. Tonight, as every night, the bench offered a view of the universe unfolding in serene majesty. Settling into the embrace of the bench, the caretaker marveled at the view spread before them. The lavender field, swathed in soft, monochromatic mystery, and the hills cradling it, formed an intimate dialogue with the night. The sweet, constant cadence of crickets harmonized with the distant song of an owl, each note a lullaby welcoming sleep's gentle arrival. A thermos of herbal tea, brewed with the very essence of the fields around, sat cradled beside them. Its steam rose in tendrils, mingling with the night air, weaving invisible patterns that drifted into nothingness. They poured a small cup, inhaling the delicate fragrance that unfurled to reveal layers of chamomile, mint, and lavender. Sipping slowly, the warmth of the tea was a reminder of the comforts that lay both in solitude and in the embrace of the vibrant, living world surrounding them. The laughter of a long past summer echoed faintly in their memory. The laughter of a life spent with rhythms not unlike those of this vast, blooming reservoir of calm and reassurance. The night unfolded luxuriously, time stretching like golden taffy under the warmth of stars. A canopy of nightjars swept silently across the sky, their silhouettes momentarily shadowing the vastness of the landscape. The tranquility held a depth beneath the surface, as layers of visual and auditory notes whispered a syncopated song of evening. Nearby, a small grove of silver birches stood like ethereal guardians, their leaves shimmering like kaleidoscopic coins under the moon's watchful eye. Between bank and tree lay a small, mirroring pond, its surface a liquid reflection of the sky, trembling slightly with every breath of a destining wind. The caretaker felt a gentle gravity in the cascade of life's seasonal cycles, in the rhythm of growth, bloom, harvest, and rest. Here under the starlit lavender sky, there was time aplenty for thoughts to drift, for the past to infuse the present with cherished moments, held not in chase, but in the accepting peace of night. With dusk completing its transformation into full night, the breeze drew in a touch cooler, wrapping the fields in a deeper, sumptuous quiet. Each scent breathed into life by the sun now took on a rounder, richer note. Lavender's gentle, lingering sweetness, the ghostly sharpness of rosemary hedges, and the faint, distant promise of honeysuckle. In the sky, constellations charted their unerring course. Legends unfurled in the firmament. The caretaker allowed their eyes to trace these storied patterns, each a charmed tale passed from one generation to the next. A cycle less of times forgotten than of memories given place among a woven whole. Here, every star was a note, every breeze a chord. The night drew longer still, its inky presence a reminder of the beauty held in patience, the elegance of twilight's aftermath, the art of lingering breath. It was said that lavender harbored dreams, that those who slept surrounded by the scent would dream sweetly in tranquil slumber. As the caretaker closed their eyes, the fragrance around formed a gentle cradle. Their heartbeats slowed to the ancient lullaby of lavender and night. With each breath, the day's echoes began to fade away, replaced by soft, subtle chords woven by the night. You could almost hear the tender voice of the wind as it hummed a quiet song through the blossoms. Under the starlit lavender sky, where dreams found a haven among the bloom-strewn fields, there lay an unspoken understanding of continuity. The lavender, the meadow, the hills, and the scintillating stars all played their roles in this symphony of sleep. As sleep's tender embrace enveloped the caretaker, they drifted upon silver streams of dreams past, whispers of fields eternal, footsteps of soft remembrance. Until only silent serenity remained, the night wrapped snugly around the farm, a tender shawl of darkness specked with starry pinpricks, each telling a tale as ancient as time. Silence reigned, interrupted only by the gentle lull of the wind and the occasional rustle of nocturnal life stirred by dreams unknown. The earth itself seemed to breathe rhythmically underneath the watchful gaze of the moon, casting a veneer of pearlescent glow over the seas of lavender. As stars wheeled softly above, the world was at rest, a pause in the cycle of doing, a time for just being. In the soft cocoon of the night, the old stone cottage stood like a sentinel of stories long held, a home cradled by nature's majesty. The warm lantern glow spilling through its windows formed amber pools on the ground, enticing nighttime wanderers silently with promises of warmth and safety. An owl hooted softly in the distance, its voice a velvet echo that sprawled across the slumbering landscape. The animals of the farm, too, had found their places of repose. The sheep murmured gently from their paddock, a chorus of soft, woolly breaths mingling with the tranquility of the night. Animals and humans alike embraced the night's deep lilt, sharing its soft embrace. On a distant hill, the solemn silhouette of a lone pine tree stood watch, its dark boughs swaying lightly in the gentle breeze. This solitary figure against the horizon was a familiar presence, a steadfast guardian through countless seasons, anchoring the transient blooms with its enduring nobility. Closer by, the silver birch grove, just barely ruffled by nighttime sighs, danced in tandem with the shadows. The birch's pale bark gleamed like polished marble, paper-thin whispers caught up in the cooling air, every leaf whispering secrets of the ages. Lantern-like fireflies swirled in elfin rings beneath the branches, their waltz a delicate counterpoint to the calls of the nightjars overhead. As the caretaker lost themselves in slumber, the woven tapestry of dreams absorbed stories old and new, reimagining them in vibrant hues painted by the quiet artistry of the celestial night. These dreams traverse timeless fields, recounting tales bound not by constraint, but by the limitless bounds of dreamers' whispers. Beneath this enveloping sky, time surrendered its significance, encouraging an unfurling of heart and soul, reaching towards the soft unknown. Wrapped in the comfort of lavender hues, where the air's gentle fragrance lay thick and placid, nothing seemed beyond the allure of sleep and its regenerative promise. Minutes, then hours, passed with elegant ease. The night deepened, casting longer tendrils of shadow that wove enigmatically through the lavender rose. And then, gently, almost imperceptibly at first, the eastern horizon began to soften, offering a herald of the dawn yet to come. In the cradle of pre-dawn, the earth slowly exhaled an expectant sigh, awakening softly beneath a veil spun from star-cast dreams. The lavender fields awaited the first kiss of early light, poised to greet the new day with open-handed grace. The heart of the earth thrummed gently with latent anticipation, the awakening life rippling unseen beneath the soil. Morning songbirds gradually began to lend their voices to the symphony, their melodious notes twinkling like dewdrops in the morning light. Gradually and unhurriedly, the stars began to retreat, tucking themselves beyond the veil of emerging daylight, relinquishing their stories to the sun's gradual embrace. The caretaker awoke as dawn's fingers painted the sky with gentle sachets of pink and gold. Smiling softly, they rose from the bench, feeling the first tendrils of the sun's warmth begin to caress the earth once more, as if it too was waking from its own lavender-induced dream. The cycle renewed, under dawn's burgeoning light, the serenity of night passed quietly, leaving in its sway a renewed world abuzz with life's invigorating return. In this realm of calm and continuation, both day and dream remained, intertwined echoes of the peaceful night it finally relinquished. And with that, we say goodnight. Sleep deeply, and we'll see you next time.